But now I don't see those cobbles and curbs. I don't hear the blues anymore.
Rough Trade is giving away a third of the first 3 months of the Rough Trade Club plus new music membership exclusively to 101 Part-Time Jobs listeners. Become a member of Rough Trade Club New Music and you'll receive the Rough Trade Album of the Month straight to your door every month on exclusive vinyl pressing with exclusive bonus material. Club members have received exclusive pressings of albums from Sufjan Stevens, Sprints, The Last Dinner Party, Julie Byrne and Over Mono, just to name a few, this past year alone. Sign up using the promo code CLUB101POD and you'll get the Rough Trade Album of the Month, English Teacher's excellent debut album, This Could Be Texas, on exclusive Galaxy Gold for a third of the usual price. Here's English Teacher on a recent episode of 101.
How many opportunities do you get to write a debut album and have all of this, sport behind us? I don't know, I really like the idea of holding the bar as being like classic songs.
You only get one shot at a debut.
Don't want the album of the month but still want all the benefits? Sign up to the standard tier using Club 101 Pod and you'll still get the first month free. You'll also get free shipping on all orders, 10% off the bar and on secondhand vinyl in store, and exclusive access to sold out Rough Trade events. So don't hang around. Go to roughtrade.com/club and sign up with the code CLUB101POD. That's CLUB101POD and claim money off the album of the month, English Teachers This Could Be Texas, today. This offer's available to UK residents only. Do you play in bands? I did for the longest time. And I wish that I knew that DistroKid was a thing. I don't even think it existed back then. DistroKid makes music distribution fun and easy with unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of your royalties and earnings. 1 million plus artists rely on DistroKid to get their music on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, Instagram, and all the major streaming services. When you get DistroKid, you can see a DistroKid bank and withdraw your earnings. You get notified when you've earned royalties and you can withdraw via the app. And you can even check your streaming stats on Spotify and Apple. Get 30% off your first year on DistroKid by going to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod. 30% off for your first year. That's not bad. We know it's a tough world out there. Why don't you make it easier for yourself? And to get 30% off that free year as an artist, where you get 100% of your royalties and earnings, go to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod. All right, stay with me. I'll be right back after this.
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, you're listening to 101 Part-Time Jobs. It's the podcast where I speak to bands about all the different jobs they've done throughout their time playing. I was lucky enough last Friday to go to Mama's Gun launch their Signature Brew collaboration beer, Golden Days, where they played at the brewery and we had an onstage chat in front of the audience. So that's today's mini episode. What a great band. Their Pizza Express live album is absolutely killer, leaves you feeling so good. It's proper kitchen, going out music for me. That record really gets me in the mood. So Mama's Gun are on today's episode. It's a quick one, live from Signature Brew as they launch their Golden Days collaboration beer. great session beer. Very tasty. Can't wait to have another pint of it. All right, before we get into this chat, I'm here with Rebecca from Eka, brand ambassador for Ampolo, which is a great free app for musicians. Rebecca, could you tell us a bit about Ampolo and who's using it and why and when?
So I've been using Ampolo for a few months now. You can upload any song. So I've been playing around with some Eka bits, or I'm a saxophonist, so I play a lot of Charlie Parker and things like that. So anything goes really, and it demixes it within under a minute. So I can take out that part. So especially for jazz use case, if I'm wanting to improv, myself, I'm not then stuck with Charlie's solo. Said no one ever, but it means that I can experiment with my own, which is really, really, really cool. And alongside that, I'm kind of filming myself, seeing what I look like. And it's great, and you're kind of recording that and then sharing it. It's a little bit of that kind of digital, practice room board. We're looking for a drummer, we're looking for a guitarist, with alongside all these super cool tools, and I'm using it for all the different instruments I play.
And it's out now, Ampolo. It's out there to be had. No downsides.
No downsides. Yeah, go download it, and I'll see you in there.
And here they are on 101 Part-Time Jobs. It's Mama's Gun. Look, so good to have you. Mama's Gun is here with their new beer, Golden Days. Can we give a round of applause for that? Because that's pretty special. Not every day you can come to a brewery, get poured a drink by the band who's made it, by the band you've come to see. They'll be playing shortly. That's going to be amazing. It's going to sound amazing in here. I've been to one of these before, and it's just such a great environment. So we're going to have a blast tonight. We're going to have a dance. I'm Giles Bidder. I'm a journalist, and I do a podcast called 101 Part-Time Jobs. Hey, I speak to bands about being bands and kind of what that means, because there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of stories there that need to be uncovered. And I'm really happy to be here. I've been listening to these Mama's Gun records for a long time, and there's such a great feeling to it, such a great gel that's kind of, it's going out music, it's staying in music. It kind of suits all environments, doesn't it? So, look, can we give a warm welcome to Mama's Gun? Have you played in a brewery before?
Never played in a brewery. We've managed to just destroy one guitar amplifier so far. So the night is young. How you guys doing, all right?
You've been a band for a long time. You can hear that in the records. You can hear it in the songs. Seeing you play live, you gel together so well. I mean, what do you think that you put that down to? Is that the years of practice? Do you think, is that friendship? Is that something that you don't know where it comes from? And do you remember when you first found it out? Do you remember that first time you thought, yeah, this works, this is really special?
The third significant lineup change yielded the lineup that made the last two records, and that's the sound, and that's where we are, and that's where it's felt most like a brotherhood. We all care about it so much between us, the music. We like each other a lot, surprisingly. Yeah, it does help. It goes a long way. Hours on tour buses and planes and hotel rooms and stuff.
You tour a lot.
Yeah, we get around. Go where you wanted, but where they have us, really. Yeah. But yeah, this since the last two albums, that's where it's really been hitting it. Yeah.
And you self-produced in the studio that you built.
Yeah, I mean, the last two records, again, Golden Days and Cure the Jones, we stopped going to big, shiny studios with record producers and decided to engineer our own records and make our own music ourselves, And I think you can hear that. You can hear the love and intention poured into each song and recording. So. Yeah. All right. Lovely people.
And how long did that take? Like, how much did you know about, how much did you know your way around a mixing desk and setting up amps and knowing where to put the mics and mixing it? Is that something that you've been learning alongside it over the years?
I think all of us, I think me and Chris have a fair amount of experience in placing microphones and recording stuff and taking an interest in that. But I think Golden Days was really the product of trying out the theory and doing it ourselves, And
that must have been a little bit scary.
It is and it isn't. It's a thrill, really, when you're try something out with some mics and you try an idea and it comes back through the speakers and you go, fuck, that sounds wicked, you know.
So are you writing as you record? Because it gives you the freedom to be able to do that.
Not so much, no. Usually the songs are reasonably well formed before we get to that point. Any time that we have actually in the studio to record is always really brief because we're scattered around. We're hundreds of miles apart, so we don't really have that luxury of just like, let's get in the studio for a couple of weeks and just knock about. We have to just sort of be really efficient with what we do. So usually the song has to be there before we get to that point.
I mean, I always think it's amazing that, I grew up playing in ska punk bands with 8 or 9 people, not dissimilar, and rounding that many people to even get to one practice a week or every 2 weeks, that's a hell of a task. As you get older, real life, there's lots of stuff to think about there. I mean, when you think about your years playing, being together in a band and through those lineup changes, but equally like really keeping the same thread, what can you attribute that to? What do you think has been your main kind of foundation of that? Sorry, that's quite a spiritual question, isn't it?
No, there is definitely a thread from the beginning of Mama's Gun to where we are now. Absolutely, and I think all the music is evolved off the back of each, subsequent album. The care and devotion you put into crafting set lists to play for shows, the care you put into albums informs what you do next. And there's definitely a thread there. We're still playing songs that were written in 2006, 2007.
Great.
And maybe that rubs off on the other songs, I don't know. But
and you mentioned it there, the audience being such a big part of it, the way that music's reflected back to you and maybe, you tell me, but kind of helps like that music evolve and you push it forward. You see what works, songs change after touring them a little bit.
I think like the mission statement is joy. Do you know what I mean? It's making people feel really fucking good. And I think that's kind of been a thread throughout Mama's Gun, is just trying to encapsulate, like obviously there's emotional things that we're trying to put across, but really the point is joy. The point is leaving feeling like just great. Do you know what I mean? I think that's one thing that really ties the whole project together is that kind of shit.
Big time.
There is a dichotomy though, in that you want people to enjoy the music you make and enjoy the gigs, but you don't want to make music that you think they will enjoy or they want you to make. I think that's the kiss of death, the death of if you start thinking like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully by making the music you want to make and people stick around and it grows, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
I got there in the end.
You guys are still here, it's okay.
Does it help that you're fully independent?
100%. Creative autonomy is absolutely the root of Mama's Gun. And it's the only reason we get to do the music we want to make, play it our way, and grow it our way. Yeah. Of course, we don't have loads of money and that button to tell the world about us in one go, but it allows you the chance to nurture dialogue with different territories and different ways of making music.
Yeah. And be flexible. I mean, if there's one thing like that is so transparent, everyone knows about the streaming thing and how that doesn't exactly like create a massively sustainable environment for bands and musicians. So you've got to be creative, right? In order to be sustainable. You've got to be smart. You've all got to become accountants because now you're all running a small little business. Yeah, you've got to be versatile. Income streams. Yeah, you've got to be bendy, basically. Very bendy. So you released that live from Pizza Express record, which is ace sounding. Was anyone there who was here tonight? Yeah. You brewed a beer.
Which pizza did you have?
The Diablo.
Can't remember.
You brewed a beer. If you were to have a pizza, if you were to have a signature brew pizza, which I might actually put in my CV to become the head of pizzas at Signature Brew. If you were to do a head of pizza, a Mama's Gun pizza, what do you think it would be?
Maybe we should pick a topping each.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a pretty loaded fucking pizza.
Great idea.
Can we start over here? Being a bit quiet. We haven't given you much chance, to be honest.
That's okay. I think I'd probably go for a cured meat, like some sort of chorizo or something like this. I'll start there.
Chorizo, solid start.
Cheese.
Yeah. Mozzarella.
His wants are simple.
Tomato sauce, probably.
Tomato sauce. No.
No, mushrooms. Let's add some mushrooms on it.
Bit of fungi back here.
Jalapenos, man. Jalapenos.
Well, we go to South Asia quite a lot, to Korea, Southeast Asia, and we have a lot of Korean barbecue there. So if we could have a Korean barbecue on top of a pizza, it would be pretty cool. So, and there's a lot of leaves as well. I quite like a lot of leaves. I like rocket with my pizza.
Yeah.
They don't do the rocket out there, but they got these kind of nettle leaves which you mix the meat up with and shove it
Choose
in
an
your mouth.
ingredient, Dave.
That kind of
I'll
thing
have
would be
this
good.
national dish.
Who here would buy that pizza? Iceland. Ready to go reduced next month. Look, we're going to have one more question, a couple more questions before we hand it over to the audience for Q&A. I do a podcast, 101 Part-Time Jobs. That's sort of why I'm here. What are some of the side hustles that you've had alongside playing in bands and playing in Mama's Gun? Really, what you must have had a couple of short-lived side hustles that have ended up as good anecdotes.
I used to work in a falafel shop when I was first in Mama's Gun. I feel like the manager, she got a bit too involved in all our personal lives. Seriously, it was a bit dodgy. It was a bit heavy. She got too involved. I'm not telling you the name of the shop, but it's like EastEnders or something.
Anyone else?
Well, I'm trying to start up a Hammond organ repair shop.
Oh, wow.
That all kicked off during the lockdown when I had fuck all to do. So it was like, I'll try repairing some old stuff. And, of course, this isn't old, this is new, this one's digital, for those of you who aren't aware. But yes, so I've had one job so far, repairing someone's Hammond organ. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, a few of us teach. That's an obvious side hustle, is just teaching our instruments and whatnot. But
I bet you're the best teachers.
Dave's a great teacher. Dave's exactly what you want from a teacher, just full of energy and really enthusiastic. Loves the instrument.
Killer mullet.
Killer mullet.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, look, has anyone, I've given you enough time, has anyone kind of thought of a few, a question they'd like to ask the band? I don't think we can hand a microphone out, so you might have to yell it.
I think it was no, play the music.
No, play the music. You can do that? All right, I think we've heard the audience. Everyone give a round of applause for Mama's Gun. Signature Brew. Signature. Let's go. I think there's going to be a 15-minute break, so you can get a breather, and then the band will start.
Get more beer in!
Fire up the fans.
So there we were at Signature Brew Live. Mama's Gun and I. Their Signature Brew beer, Golden Days, is out now. That Pizza Express live album is also out. What an amazing record. And if you want to see it in the flesh, you can. They're on tour throughout November and December in the UK. Some shows in the Netherlands. From the end of November, you can catch them in Lyme Regis, Bristol, Norwich, Camden and Brighton. So there's your chance. Go and get those tickets from their website, mamasgun.co.uk. Thank you for listening to this. If you enjoyed this chat, please feel free to subscribe, leave a rating or review it if you're listening to it on Apple or Spotify. I put out 2 episodes a week usually. Sometimes, more often than not, I've ended up going over that, but 2 episodes a week at the very least. So subscribe to get notified as and when they come out. Thank you to Carly at MG Management and Doug Hunt for recording the session, and I'll see you later. Cheers for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.